Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Strategic Command American Civil War, the newest game that is not yet out, but is coming out on the 30th of June by Fury Software and published by Matrix and Slytherin Games. This is taking the Strategic Command game system and bringing it to the American Civil War and making some tweaks and changes to things that make it seem more fitting for the American Civil War time period. What I will say is this game has an absolutely huge map. I really like the way the map's put together. The game does a good job, I think, of making logistics a central feature to your ability to push into the Confederacy or the Union as either side. And the game still has a lot of those key components that make the game interesting from a strategic perspective, whether it be focusing on research and development, focusing on building a balanced army, or really honing in on one area or another to try and get a big advantage over your enemy. I do think that the game struggles a bit when it comes to tactical battle resolutions. It feels more like World War I at times, especially in the Eastern Theater, where you don't have quite as much room to maneuver than it really should. Battles take too long to resolve. You're not going to resolve one big tactical battle in a single turn, and turns are 2 weeks long. So it's a turn-based strategy game with 2-week turns in the American Civil War. And battles don't resolve after one turn anyway. Like, they grind out over entire seasons of the game. And so that doesn't feel quite right. But I think the operational and the strategic element of this game are very sound. This is the second part of my preview look at this game. We're jumping in after a couple of turns. It's late July 1861. We did the July 1861 start date. So we did the initial fighting around Alexandria. And now we're ending our turn and about to start getting it a little bit more involved, maybe trying to start planning, building up our fleet, building up our armies, and perhaps getting things ready for a more wide-scale offensive beyond just in the east. Quite a bit of fighting happening in Missouri and in the west, although Kentucky is still neutral, and that's enough of me rambling. So let's jump in. This was taken from a live stream from my Twitch channel the other night, and without further ado, I'll jump in. I hope you guys enjoy. Union warships in Hampton Roads blockade Norfolk. I'm assuming their production goes down like occasionally. Brazil recognizes the Confederacy? What? Well, I guess Brazil was a slaveholding state at this time. I always forget about that. Brazil didn't abolish slavery until like the late 1880s. Brazil actually had more slaves arrive in Brazil from the African slave trade than the United States did. Fun fact, the more you know. Okay. Hope they don't attack that isolated brigade near Warrentown. All right, Confederate warships are withdrawing back up the Mississippi River toward New Orleans. More attacks in the valley near Harper's Ferry. That attack didn't do anything for them. They lost 3 and didn't do any casualties. The Warrentown Brigade did damage us here, and then they also moved west from Alexandria. They isolated one of our brigades here as well. Attacked with a regiment there. So this is obviously like, as we're playing through this, I mean, I know it's early in the war, and as we get divisions rolled up and as we get corps rolled up, there will be some opportunity to concentrate your firepower. But what I will say is it's pretty apparent early on that like this game's not going to model a realistic sense of tactical or operational campaigns. Like maybe a little bit of operational because there's room to maneuver. It's not overly concentrated like in the World War II games. But there is no, you know, you're never going to have like this one hex is where everything gets fought, right? So it's not really going to, you're not going to have a Gettysburg. You're going to have something that feels more like a campaign, but less like a individual fight. All right, so the Confederates are invading New Mexico. They did do that historically. Gideon Welles has formed the Ironclad Board. Okay. Never heard of that before. I mean, I know the Union made ironclads, but I never heard of the Ironclad Board. So Missoula captured. Confederate partisans caused disruption in West Virginia. I think we might have saw a partisan unit rise there. and a couple of other things. Controlling the waters off North Carolina will be vital if we're to properly enforce our naval blockade of the rebel states. The coastal islands of the Outer Banks with Fort Hatteras at their center are of particular interest to us, as any naval traffic to Elizabeth City will have to pass through one of the inlets there. Rebel security efforts in the area have so far been extremely poor, and we have detailed information on numerous naval captains indicating that we could easily capture the forts and neutralize the port of Elizabeth City with a prompt invasion. If approved, this operation will cost 150 MPPs and will allow us to immediately take control of Fort Hatteras and the surrounding islands. The men are ready to go. Would you like to authorize the capture of Fort Hatteras? Fort Hatteras is located in a strategic position and will allow you to supply your ships as they blockade the coast of the Carolinas, so it's strongly recommended you say yes to this decision. Should you say yes to the decision, the invasion will automatically happen this turn, fully handled by the game engine. Note that control of Fort Hatteras will block the convoy route for blockade runners to Elizabeth City. Historically, the Battle of Fort Hatteras Inlet was fought on August 28th and 29th of 1861, yes, resulting in a nearly bloodless victory for the Union. This was also, I believe, a campaign that was led by Ambrose Burnside, and so kind of, I don't know if it really made him a hero per se, but like he had initial success in his career before all of his various blunders, and this was one of the reasons of his eventual promotions, is because he did have some success in independent command. So we'll say yes. Fort Hatteras is secured by the Union and the Outer Banks. Hell yeah. Okay, so that's now Union. Okay, so we now effectively blockade Elizabeth City. Good for us. All right. Well, that's a good start, I'd say. Let's continue our offensive, shall we? These guys have no supply there. These guys need to withdraw and reinforce. Let's try and save this brigade. So first things first, out of Washington, we're going to have this brigade attack. We'll have this brigade withdraw because they're about to die. We'll switch these guys around. Man, these guys suck so bad. They can't do shit. Got him. All right, so we destroyed one rebel brigade. Didn't actually get these guys out of being surrounded though, so they're probably gonna die next turn when the rebels hone in on them. Did we have any new units to deploy? No, we don't. Okay, well, I could fly my balloon in. I fly my balloon back and forth. I actually don't know what this does. Like, it's just hanging out here. I also have no idea what's back here. Can't see anything. Oh no, you ran into enemy cavalry that surprised you. Okay. Advance towards Staunton. You're not gonna do anything there, apparently. Oh, fucking partisans. You guys have like no supply. Pull back, McClellan. Don't get your headquarters destroyed. Oh, none of these guys have supply because the partisans cut it off. Fuck. Jerks. Is there a like P thing here where you can see where partisans rise up? There is. Fuck. There's gotta be ones here too, aren't there? And then there's Union partisans up here. Okay. Okay. Always concentrate your forces. All right, so we badly shot up this brigade as well. Yeah, no, I'm aware, Red. I remember the partisans in the World War II game were annoying as hell. I didn't think to garrison the spots, but yeah, it's important. Are we invading Arkansas now? We are. Okay. All right, so it's a rainy day in Missouri, by the looks of it. Hey, this is near Wilson Creek. Ah! I think I saw once you get to a certain point, maybe in tactics or whatever, sometimes you can attack enemy units twice or be attacked like by one of those things and then still attack yourself. It's a lot more annoying though, because like forced marches become a much more necessary part of this game because there's so few railroads. We're just going to keep attacking that fort at Williamsport or Williamsburg. They repaired it, so it was down to 3 and now it's back up to 5, so we attacked it again. We'll keep attacking there, gain some experience for those troops. Are they really brigade strength? I would think they're like regiment, but man, there's so many different mobilization points. So we got this frigate to Long Island Sound. I don't actually want to send them to the river. Let's actually send these guys south because I need to get someone off the coast of Wilmington. So let's send you to Newark, I guess. What's this? What are these things? To Key West. I think we have enough ships in the Gulf, at least for the moment. Right. Okay. I can't send these guys up the river by themselves. It's interesting. But I can if I go to that one random hex on the East Coast. Huh. Okay, whatever. Frigates can't enter rivers. So is it just those frigates then? Because frigate. Oh my god, I got so many freaking frigates. These guys can enter rivers then. These gunboats. I don't know that I want to go gunboat versus fort. Historically, frigates made it up at least as far as New Orleans. Actually, didn't they go all the way up toward Baton Rouge? There we go. All right, so we swapped these guys out. We got a frigate on the Mobile route, and then we also have 2 on the New Orleans route. Yeah, actually, I think you're right, Super Cheese. I need to get Savannah. Savannah is blockaded, I believe. We've got troops on there. And try and bombard Fort Pulaski. I need Wilmington. That's the one that's uncovered at the moment. Research. We're still running at 3,900 and I've got nothing really. I guess we'll spend one more on balloons because why the hell not max out R&D, right? Meanwhile, 1,200 more points. So let's go ahead and purchase. Well, we should be doing some diplomacy too, shouldn't we? So we have 5 diplomatic chits. We can assign diplomats to try and slow down the Confederate mobilization in various places. We can also try and convince Kentucky to join us. The Osage and the Pueblo. Let's assign a diplomat to go to the Cherokee. I'm not really worried about Kentucky. I think the Confederates will invade there eventually. We'll keep the UK, France, and Spain as is for now. And then let's just buy some stuff, right? Like, let's get some divisions going here. We've got 1,100 points. So I'm just gonna division River Ironclad, River Ironclad, River Ironclad. Give me the rivers. I don't really know what engineers do in this game. What the hell do mountain divisions do? Like, I don't think that was a thing. Division. And gunboat. Okay, there you go. We spent all our points. Engineers build trenches. Okay, but what did they do in 1861? Brigade suffers attrition losses because I have no supplies. Less than 50 miles from the Virginia border, one of the most important ports, the city of Baltimore, is likely to be a tempting target for rebel forces should they cross the Potomac in strength. In order to reduce the risk of the city's capture, we can construct a defenses unit to be named Fort Marshall inside the city. Construction will cost 100 MPPs divided between the following 2 turns. Any unit currently inside the city will be automatically moved to a nearby location. Note, while the fort improves the defenses of Baltimore, its presence will prevent the port of Baltimore from being used to load units onto naval transports or unload them into the city. Although warships will still be able to use the port for resupply and upgrades. Okay. Generally recommended you say yes, but it'll also be an obstacle to using Baltimore. I've got enough ports. Let's make the fort. It'll force the Rebs to be further west. Nice Palvron. Mountain troops can freehand cliffs with 12-pounders strapped to them. If only that was true. I don't even... Do I have any troop? Okay, so we have some troops in New Mexico. Continue to blockade Hampton Roads for the moment until the ironclads show up, probably. Fort Gibson has fallen. Charleston, West Virginia is... Whoa, rebel... What? Rebel gunboats in the Chesapeake. They're also blockading DC? Oh, you gotta be kidding me, right? Okay, good thing I'm bringing that frigate south. We're gonna nuke those bastards. All right, we've got that surrounded brigade that's gonna probably get destroyed. There they go. All right, Rebs attack at Carthage. Fort Thorn. Is it a thorn in their side? All quiet along the Potomac front. Rebs on the Potomac. President Lincoln would like a word with you. Listen, okay, this isn't a super realistic situation right now. but I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, they're preparing for war. All right. What can we do? What's the national morale situation looking like? We lost one brigade. Halleck. General Halleck, you're going to command the invasion of Kentucky when it begins. So let's get you out there. That's where you historically were located. We'll put you in Cincinnati. Our first new unit, and it's a worthless one. All right, so let's get you down here. Do I really want to lift the blockade of Norfolk? So we kind of have to, right? Almost destroyed that gunboat. The Minnesota just whomped this gunboat unit. Reinforced Baltimore, which they bombarded. Lol. Is it just gonna rain all the time? You jerks. These guys have like no supply. Probably because Charleston fell. Can't really take Charleston because we're going to run into that partisan unit. All right. So what's the supply situation look like? One here. They're going to be at 3 if I leave them as is. I guess you can't really invade through West Virginia through the mountains. Or it is perhaps ill-advised. Figured Confederate troops would come out of Woodstock at us. Okay. All right, so they didn't attack us there. That's nice. Keep attacking. You're going to pull back. You're going to reinforce to full strength. Okay. So a little bit of fighting, but a little bit less as we sort of reinforce some of those units in the Potomac front. Continue to harass the fort at Williamsburg. I really need to get troops closer to Richmond. Is any research being done yet? No. Still 4 and 4. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm not building up any troops on the border of Kentucky yet. Ah! Rebel Brigade! There's rebel troops at Gainesville. We've surrounded them now, though, so we could move troops down that way. Attack the rebels at Carrollton? However you pronounce that. Quick march them over that way. Get a couple of regiments across their line of advance. This is the Osage, right? So are they Confederate? No, they're going to join our side. Okay, so they're pro-Union. Hell yeah, brother. Actually, wait, undo that. We need to send reinforcements to New Mexico, right? Yeah, so we'll do that. Those troops are headed to New Mexico because New Mexico is in trouble, I think. Fort Thorne. Reinforce and hold. East tends to feel more like World War I. Yeah, that's kind of how it feels. So far, anyway. I mean, it was kind of that way if you think about like the nature of how that campaign unfolded. I don't want to pull troops out of Cairo, by the way. Oops. If you think about just sort of the static nature of the East versus the West, but obviously it wasn't really like that. The Navajo, let's invest 100 MPPs to try and slow them. The Osage are already gonna join us. The Pueblo. Yeah, now 900 points. I would rather use that for troops. So let us recruit 3 new divisions. All my points are going to infantry divisions this turn. Let's overwhelm the bastards. Keep bombarding the forts at the mouth of the Mississippi. Keep raiding those convoys. Got to clear the Potomac and the Chesapeake of rebel groups. Suffix, thanks for the resub. Appreciate the support. Pooh-Shoes, thanks for the follow. Loft Mariner, thank you for the follow as well. MLG Justin Bieber Superfan, thank you for the follow. Lord Grimos, thank you for the follow. Tally, I think I already thanked you, but thank you as well. Okay. So I think that's it. I mean, this is kind of a slow start, but... Can I reinforce? No, I can't. I already moved him, didn't I? Okay. And Maddie Holmes, thanks for the follow. All right, so I could cut this rail line real easy and get these guys out of supply, I think. In what sense is pulling off Gettysburg difficult in this game? Well, there is a Gettysburg scenario which I toyed around with for about 30 minutes. And as the Confederates, you can definitely turn the Union into withdrawing. So like you start off massed up around Warrenton, and you have the strength to turn them because they don't have enough manpower to have like a cohesive front. So you can kind of overwhelm their left flank and then push north into Maryland, possibly Pennsylvania. So I think you could do it, but we'll see. Yeah, engagements would be a very different game than what Strategic Command has done in the past, but that certainly would probably more accurately reflect the war. Still, I think there will be a lot of interesting strategic choices. I just don't know how accurately it will represent the American Civil War. With that being said, this episode is a little bit on the shorter end, but this is as natural a stopping point as any, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. I hope you guys did enjoy. I really want to hear your thoughts below, so please feel free to leave comments. This was taken from a live stream from my Twitch channel. There's a link in the description if you're interested in checking those streams out. Probably nothing before Tuesday. That's probably the next time I will stream live. Got some stuff going on, a bit of a busy weekend, and a bit of a long weekend, but also a busy weekend. So I'll see you guys then. But the remainder of this stream will continue posting on the channel in the meantime. I hope you guys like it. I'll catch you guys next time. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer, as always, saying thank you very much. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye.